The TCP layer uses something called ports. Why does it use ports? Okay. Your computer, when you are using your computer, you are using the internet, you are browsing the web, sending emails, watching videos, listening to music, all at the same time, right? So when data comes to your computer, how will it know which application to go to? How will it know that this is an audio data, so it should go to your audio application, or it is a video data, so it should go to your video application, or it's a web browsing, so it should go to your browser? How does it know? How does the data differentiate between the different applications? It differentiates between these applications using something called a port. Okay, using something called port. A port is um, a way to differentiate between different applications running on the same machine, on the same computer. For example, the HTTP, the web browsing, has port 80. Email has several ports, 433 and others. FTP has different port, and so on. So when data comes to your computer, it comes associated with it a port. Let's say port 80, for example. If your computer sees that the data is coming to port 80, then it's going to send it to the web browser. If it sees that it's coming with port 433 or 443, it's going to send that to your web to your email client, and so on and so forth, right? So this is a way to differentiate between the applications on running on your computer. Okay. uh, uh, the ports is very important in communication. If you do not identify the port for your application, then you are not going to get the data correctly. Okay. I will show you some examples of ports as we go on. When we get into designing websites and building a website, I will show you ports and how they work. Okay, but for now, I want you to understand that the purpose of the port is to differentiate between the different applications running on the computer. When data comes to your computer, how does it differentiate between the different applications? How does it know it's going to with the web client or the email client or your video application? Okay. Questions, anyone so far? All right. Okay. Now let's talk about another layer and hopefully the last one. The link layer. Right. So the data link layer, as we said, is responsible for communications inside the local area network. Okay. So what is a local area network, and um, how does the data link layer help us in communication there? Okay. As I mentioned, a LAN or local area network is the small network that contains the computers in one company or one organization. This is called the local area network. These connections between the machines can be wired using plugs in the wall, or they can be wireless, like using Wi-Fi, which you guys are using when you are at home now or at CSUMB. You use Wi-Fi. Okay, so this is an example of a local area network, right? At home, we have some laptops, we have your phones, we have smart TVs, we're working with Wi-Fi's, and so on and so forth. All of these are part of a local area network or LAN. Connections doesn't matter whether it's Wi-Fi or physical. Okay. Okay. right? So the local area, this data link layer is where computers communicate not using IP addresses, but using their MAC addresses, okay? So the MAC address, does anyone know what a MAC address is here, guys? A MAC address?
It's an address unique to your device.
Yes. So each network device, any network card or any laptop or any computer that can connect on the network has a printed or built-in address that is unique to the device. There are no two devices in the whole world with the same MAC addresses. Okay. And these MAC addresses are used to communicate between devices in the same local network. So if my computer and your computer are within the same local network, then we don't need to use the IP. We directly communicate using our MAC addresses. This MAC address is part of the data link layer. So communications in the data link layer happen through MAC addresses. Data link layer is a very simple layer. All it does is it gets the data from the above layer, the IP layer, and then converts it into bits like you see here, and then sends it over to the other computer using the MAC address. Okay, no, okay. So that's a good question, Lizzie. I will answer your question, okay? What happens is let's say there are 20 network card manufacturers in the world, right? For example, let's say Intel, Microsoft, and others. Okay, let's say there are 20 of these in the world. When a company says I want to start manufacturing network connectivity devices, network devices, they communicate the network authority, a global authority, and asks them to send them unique ID. So they receive a unique ID from some authority, right? They tell them that you can use MAC addresses from MAC address number 10 to MAC address number 20, right? And therefore, this company can create its devices within this range, okay? But it does not need to register the actual address of the device. It just needs to register a range of MAC addresses that it is going to use for its own devices. Okay. Did I answer a question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So MAC addresses are assigned to companies, not to single devices. They are assigned to the companies manufacturing the networking devices, and these companies will assign individual MAC addresses to each device. Okay. If you look at your computer, at the bottom of your computer, of your laptop, you will find there is a MAC address printed there. So you can find out the MAC address of your own computer by looking at the bottom right beside the serial number and other numbers. You will find a MAC address there. So the MAC addresses of computers are known. Okay. All right.